This is a reminder class Connect sessions are recorded and distributed for learning purposes listed here. As always, be respectful, appropriate, and participate. Please don't share personal information during the class for your own security reasons. All right, we are in the February 14th attendance ticket. That link is in the chat box for you along with the passwords. Give me a green check if you were able to get it open. I know we had a couple issues at the start of class, but it's been fixed, so get that link open. Password is there underneath the link. Let's go, let's go. Yes, I've seen one episode of One Punch Man, and I think it was the first episode. And yeah, his one punch was really powerful. Looking good. Amanda, Amir, Tony, Dorian, make sure I get your green checks. Edwin, Ireland, Jaime, Jackie, Cash, Mike, Michaela, Michelle. Just want to make sure everyone's able to get in. Blossom, Yusra. Thank you. Oh, yes, of course. Avatar: The Last Airbender. How did we miss that one? I literally watched that show. I watched that series like 5 times throughout college. I would just watch it while I was doing my homework. It's an awesome show. Yes. All right. No worries, Michaela. So what I want you to do is save the password, and then you can take pictures of the answers if you need to. Actually, we really only have one thing today. It's the last word. So you still have plenty of time until the end of class to get it loaded. But in any case, write down the password. Always take a picture of the answers whenever your ticket is not working. Awesome. All right, we are on day 13. We are going to be doing our Unit 3 game day. So we wrapped up our Unit 3 yesterday. So now we're going to go ahead and play a game to kind of review it. Remember, if you're ever absent and you don't participate in the game, or if you're ever here and for some reason you're not really here and you don't participate in the game, then you will have to complete the alternative assignment so that you still get your 10 points for today. Okay, so same thing, Caleb. Just write down the password somewhere. That way you have it. And then you can take a picture of the answers. That way you have the answers. And then once it starts working, you can go ahead and fill it out later. Okay, does that sound good? Because it does seem like we're having a lot of tech issues today because of these storms. All right, awesome. So, reminders, cohort 2, if you just started with us on Monday, remember that the survey is due by tomorrow at 4 p.m., so make sure you get that done. Remember, you are excused from weeks 1 through 2, and your gradebook is your best resource. It has the links to all of the assignments, all of the recordings that go over the assignments, as well as obviously your grades. Week 3 at this point, your opportunities for week 3 extra credit are now over because we have finished all of our support sessions for this week. But don't worry, we still have 7 weeks left, so you still have a chance for 7% more of extra credit. Smiley faces if that makes sense, everyone. Remember, there is no rollover, so you won't be able to come in next week multiple times to try to make up for past weeks. It's just 1 per week. 1 per week. That's all I give. Awesome. So you got to be consistent with it, basically. Cool. This is a reminder. Remember, you got to finish the 3C lab. I have not started grading them. Remember, I told you my little hint here that I usually don't start grading them until the weekend. So you kind of have until the weekend. I don't put zeros in until that time. So make sure you get it done. Obviously, it takes a little bit longer than maybe a quiz. So I understand if you didn't get it in yesterday, but you should try to get it in today or tomorrow. Obviously, today is a game day. So, oh, I wanted to mention, you do have a 3-day weekend, right? So you should definitely get it done by the weekend as well because you have lots of time over the weekend. Remember, it's a huge part of your grade, right? The 3C lab, if you started with us at the start of the quarter, is worth 15% of your grade, together with the 1C lab, also worth 15% of your grade. That's 30% of your grade overall. So it's a huge grade. We got to get it done. If you just started with us on Monday, that means the only lab you'll have in your grade book come the weekend is the 3C lab, which means it's an entire third of your grade. If you don't do it, then you're going to have a really hard time passing the class as you start out. So we got to get it done. It's a huge grade. You can see how much of a slice it is here. Thumbs up if that makes sense to everyone. Thumbs up. Yes, again, you don't have school on Monday because of President's Day. So you do have a 3-day weekend. Use it to get caught up on things you need to get caught up on, and that includes sleep, right? All right, so we have been talking about Unit 3. So we've been taking a look at friction, gravity, forces, vectors. We talked about net force in our lab. So we took a look at a lot of really good stuff this week. Awesome, Amanda. Good to hear. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into our Kahoot, because hopefully if we get it done a little bit faster, I can let you go, and then you can have an awesome rest of your day. So, Dree, if you have a low grade, like you still passed the lab, but it's just not yet a C, B, or an A, it's very possible that your final will help you. You do have a final, part of your final exam is also short answer though, which is also kind of like a lab assignment where you have to actually fill it out using sentences. So I wouldn't rely on the final exam. And if you mean by a low grade on your lab as in you haven't done your lab, if you got a 0 on your lab, then it's very unlikely that your final exam can save you just by doing that. Okay, your final exam is worth 5% of your grade, and each lab is worth 5% of your grade, and there's going to be 6 of them. Okay, so 6 labs, and that adds up to way more than a single exam. Does that make sense, everyone? Smiley faces if that makes sense. That's a good question. Yes, exactly, Tariq. Basically, exactly. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to go to the website kahoot.it. That is the actual URL, kahoot.it. You can either go on your phone browser or on your computer browser, whichever one is easier for you. And there is also an app, so if you have the app already downloaded, you can use the app today as well. So what you're going to see is on the whiteboard in about 30 seconds, I'm going to put up the game, and it'll tell you what the pin is for the game. On your phone, you'll see that it asks you to enter the game pin, so you'll take whatever numbers are here and enter it into your game. Yeah, the app is a lot easier, so I do recommend when you get a chance, download the Kahoot app. And then it does give you a pattern. I do read it out loud because I know some of you, your screens don't load very quickly, so you do have to press the buttons matching the pattern on the screen. So for example, if the screen says green, yellow, red, blue, then on your phone you would press green, then yellow, then red, then blue. But keep in mind, it does change every 7 seconds, so you do need to be fast about it. Again, I'll read it out loud for those of you that the screen loads a little bit slowly. Now remember, you just need to do your best, okay? So does it matter if you get every question right or wrong? Tell me in the chat box. Does it matter whether or not the right or wrong, how many you get correct? No, I don't care about how many you get correct. I care about you trying your best. And then if you get something wrong, that's fine. You're going to learn why you got it wrong and you'll be able to correct it for the future. That's what review is all about. So as long as you just participate in all the questions, you'll get your full 10 points today. Okay, if you miss 1 or 2, again, I understand because there's tech issues going on. If you miss 1 or 2, not the end of the world. I'll still give you your full credit. If you miss like more than half of them, though, you're not going to get your credit. So you got to make sure that you are participating the entire time. Caleb, I will be giving that to you in about 20 seconds, okay? You can also play in the private chat. So if for some reason you don't like the point system, or if for some reason you don't want to be up on the dashboard, or if for some reason Kahoot's just not working for you, you can play in the private chat. Give me a smiley face, green check, thumbs up, everyone, if that makes sense. Okay. Smileys, awesome. Seeing smileys, seeing green checks. Again, you do have to participate. If you don't participate, you will have to do the alternative assignment. And the alternative assignment is harder because you gotta do a lot more work for it, okay? So let me go ahead. I'm going to open up our game here. And then I'm going to go ahead and load it up on our screen. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Let me know if you can't see my screen here. Awesome. You can't see my screen. What? Okay, just give it a few seconds to load. There we go. Yeah, there's always a little bit of lag. So, all right, cool. So looking good, looking good. Here we go, here we go. Just want to make sure this all looks correct. Randomize. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, if you need a private chat, you need to let me know right now in the chat box so that I can open that up for you. Here is your pin today. 89840. Green, red, yellow, blue. Red, blue, green, yellow. Green, red, blue, yellow. Yellow, red, blue, green. Red, blue, green, yellow. You should see your name up here again. First name with your last initial. Please don't put full names. Sorry, Mel, in the future, please make sure you only put O for your last name. Awesome. All right, here's the next pattern. Red, yellow, blue, green. Green, yellow, blue, red. Again, if you don't see your name up here, you won't get credit for today. They're blue, green, red, yellow. See our little heart for Valentine's Day? Green, yellow, blue, red. Green, yellow, blue, red. No worries, Cash. Blue, red, yellow, green. All right, Dree, Caleb, Mike, please make sure that in the future you include your initial of your last name, because there are some students that have similar names to you. Okay, especially Mike. Red, yellow, green, blue. Thank you, Mel. Blue, green, red, yellow. Give you all of another 20 seconds. Hope, do you want me to open up a... okay, Hope, you're in. Awesome. Who is JU? Who is JU? I don't know who this is. I won't be able to give you credit for this. Caleb, it's not doing anything. What do you mean? Caleb, it shouldn't be doing anything. You just got logged in. So you're here. You just got to wait for us to start the game. Another 10 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and finish up. Again, I don't know who JU is, so if you don't, let me know in the chat box who JU... Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, no worries. I'll try to remember that, Jay. Sorry, Justin. So please remind me if I forget for some reason, okay? Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The instructions will still be at the bottom, so you still have time to join, but I do want us to get started here. Looking good. Here we go. Okay, Cash, I'm going to open up a private chat for you. All right, question is, what type of friction prevents an object at rest from moving across a surface? Red, static, blue, fluid, yellow, kinetic. Cash, go ahead and answer in that private chat I opened for you. Anyone else that needs the private chat, you got to tell me now. If you didn't see your name up on the board, you need to tell me now. Either join now or open a private chat with me so that you can get credit. Awesome. 5 seconds. Go, go, go. Answer, answer. Even if you're not sure, just answer so that you get your credit. Awesome. Thank you, Cash. Yes, this one is actually going to be static. Static friction. Remember, the word static starts with STA, which is the same letters that the word stay means. So it's keeping the object in its own place. It's staying at rest. Smiley faces if that makes sense. So this type of friction prevents an object from moving across a surface. It stays at rest. All right, looking good. Rozzy, Yusra, Mike, Parker, and Jackie are up on the whiteboard, on the leaderboard. Here we go. Does this make sense? Let's go over this. So static is resistance between non-moving forces. Static like stays at rest. Kinetic friction, on the other hand, is when it's already in motion. Remember, kinetic does mean motion. Let me know if that makes sense. Red, it's starting to. Blue, yes. Yellow, not yet. Cash, make sure I get your answer in the chat. And then again, if there's anyone else that needs to be in the private chat, you need to let me know now. Otherwise, you won't get your credit if you're not in the game or in a private chat. You got to be in one or the other. Awesome. Looking good. All right. Here we go. Weight requires. Weight requires. Remember, weight is both mass and gravity, neither mass nor gravity, or only mass. All right. Weight requires red, both mass and gravity, blue, neither mass nor gravity, yellow, only gravity, green, only mass. Hi, Matt, please join our game very quickly. The pin is at the bottom, so here's the website, here's the pin, and this pattern changes every 7 seconds. Push the buttons in the order that you see so that you can join us in our game. If you don't join us, you will be required to do the alternative assignment. You can also play in a chat, you just got to tell me. Cool, yes, weight requires both mass and gravity. Remember, your weight changes based on the gravity of where you are. Think about how on Earth there's more gravity, on the moon there's less gravity, so where do you weigh more? Where do you have worse jumps? Where do you have worse jumps, Earth or the moon? Think about which one has more gravity, causing more weight. Tell me in the chat box. It wasn't a rhetorical question. Make sure you type in the chat box. Which one do you weigh more on? Yeah, exactly. On Earth. Exactly. Looking good. Sorry, Arrow, were you able to get in? I know that you kind of joined us right as we started our game. Awesome. Rozzy. Perfect, Arrow. Rozzy, Yusra, Martina, Parker, Israel on the board, and Hope is the highest climber. Way to go. 17 places. There we go. Mass is heavier on Earth, lighter on the moon, the same wherever you are in the universe, or the same thing as weight. Go ahead, answer that one. Red, heavier on Earth, lighter on the moon. Blue, the same wherever you are in the universe. Yellow, the same thing as weight. There we go. 15 seconds. Matt, let me know if you're not able to join. We do need you to get joined quickly. Otherwise, I won't be able to give you credit for today, so just want to make sure you're doing that. Awesome. Cash, I see your answer. Thank you. Looking good. Yes. So here's the tricky one. Mass is the same wherever you are in the universe. Remember, mass is the amount of stuff you are made up of. So think about if you're on Earth versus on the moon, are you still made up of the same amount of stuff? In the chat box, are we still made up of the same amount of stuff wherever we are? Yep, exactly. And therefore, our mass is always the same. Mass is just stuff. It has nothing to do with the gravity of where you are. Excellent. Yusra, Bradley, Rozzy, Tariq, Martina on the board. Bradley has reached an answer streak. Does this make sense? Here we go. I know, it's very confusing with weight. That's why we go over it so many times. So mass is the amount of stuff. Weight requires both mass and gravity. It depends on gravity. They're not the same. Mass is the same everywhere. Weight changes based on gravity, based on the gravity of where you are. Let me know if that makes sense. Red, yes. Blue, not yet. Yellow, it's starting to. 10 seconds. Here we go. Gotta love those disconnections. Hold on. All right, it should be back up. All right, it should be back up. Sorry, I got disconnected. All right, looking good. Perfect. All right. Good. So, Yusra, oh, sorry, this is the same leaderboard. So, acceleration due to gravity means that objects do not fall if dropped, red, move faster and faster when dropped, blue, or stay the same speed if dropped, yellow. Acceleration due to gravity means that objects, what happens when they fall? They don't fall if dropped, when dropped. They don't fall if dropped, they move faster and faster when dropped, or they stay the same speed if dropped. Acceleration due to gravity. 10 seconds. Let's go. Cash, make sure I get yours in the chat. 1. Yes, so I'm glad we figured out that red is definitely not correct. Objects will fall if you drop them because of gravity. But here's the tricky part. Remember, acceleration. Does this mean your velocity stays the same or your velocity changes? What does acceleration mean? Does your velocity stay the same or change? Tell me in the chat box. Think about when your car accelerates. Is your velocity staying the same or changing? Yes, it's changing. So that means that when objects are accelerating due to gravity, their velocity must be changing. It can't stay the same. So yellow definitely can't make sense. You actually move faster and faster when something's dropped. That's why the longer you fall, the more it hurts because you're speeding up more and more and more. Smiley faces if you're beginning to understand. Oh my gosh, Dree, you are brave. Jumping from a plane. Cool. All right, so Tariq, Razi, Yusra, Martina, and Bradley on the board. Here we go. Does this make sense? So gravity, like all forces, causes acceleration, changes in velocity. The longer you fall, the faster and faster you get. Okay, if there was no acceleration, it wouldn't matter it wouldn't matter the height that you jump at. You would always hit the ground at the same speed. Therefore, you could jump from anywhere and it would never hurt. Right? Which is not true. Tree would not be able to just jump from a plane and it not hurt. Okay. I'm betting Tree probably had a parachute. Awesome. Okay, good. Glad that's making sense. Here we go. Next question. If 1,000 kilogram and a 1 kilogram mass are in free fall, influenced only by the force of gravity, do they hit the ground at the same time? Red. Does the 1 kilogram hit the ground first, blue, or does the 1,000 kilogram hit the ground first, yellow? So 2 masses, one big, one small. If they're only influenced by gravity, what happens? Red, same time, blue, 1 kilogram first, or yellow, 1,000 kilogram first. What do you think? 5 seconds, Cash. Make sure I get your answer in the chat box. Oh yeah, exactly, Tree. All right, yes, so this one is pretty tricky. We are often tempted to say that the heavier one will hit first. But remember, we saw a video of a feather and a ball being dropped in a vacuum where there was no air. There was nothing but gravity. And if there's nothing but gravity to prevent those feathers from falling, they fall at the same time as the ball. So remember, the feather and the ball actually hit the ground at the same time. Smiley faces if you remember that, if that's making sense. Remember, things fall at the same time as long as they're only influenced by gravity. Now, if you have other things like air resistance, then that changes things, right? So Tariq on fire, Razi, Martina, Bradley, Yusra on the board. Does this make sense? Here we go. So again, objects in free fall only influenced by the force of gravity all accelerate at the same rate, which means they're all going to hit the ground at the same time. Same time. The only exception is on Earth we have air resistance, and air resistance works against particular objects like feathers. That's why feathers on Earth in reality don't drop at the same rate as a ball. Okay, but if only gravity is working, then they all fall at the same rate. Awesome, Cash. Thank you for your answer. Again, if you need to be in the private chat, let me know. We're getting a little bit late in the game now, so if you want your participation points, you got to be in here or in a private chat. Awesome! Let's keep on going here. Vectors describe. Vectors describe. Only direction, both magnitude and direction, only magnitude, neither magnitude nor direction. So red, only direction, blue, both magnitude and direction, yellow, only magnitude, green, neither magnitude nor direction. 15 seconds, get your answers in. Thank you, Cash, for your answer. Awesome. Yes, they describe both magnitude and direction. Remember, vectors are arrows that we use to describe things that have both an amount and a direction. Things like velocities, right? You can go in a certain direction with a velocity, positive or negative. And obviously you can have an amount of velocity. And forces, things that can be pushed or pulled in certain directions, right? The arrow points that way, as well as the size of the arrow tells you how big the force is. Right? So, Tariq, Razi, Martina, Arrow, and Josiah. Mixing up the leaderboard a little bit. Here we go. Does this make sense? All right. So, vectors describe two things, magnitude, direction. So, for example, velocity has both speed, which is magnitude, and a direction. And forces, right? Magnitude, the amount of force, direction, where that force is going. All right. Red, yes. Yellow, it's starting to. So, sorry. Blue, it's starting to. Yellow, not yet. Let me know if that makes sense. 10 seconds. Here we go, looking good. All right, sorry, I just want to mention that again. Again, vectors show both. They show both a magnitude, which is the amount of something, right? The bigger the arrow, the bigger the amount. And they also show direction. The way that the arrow points, the vector points, is the direction of that thing. Like force, that's the direction of the force, or like velocity, that's the direction of the velocity. So direction shown by the point, magnitude shown by the size of the arrow. Smiley faces if you understand. I had a couple more people than usual say that it didn't make sense. Awesome. Looking good. All right, here we go. An object at rest that starts to experience a net force will stay at rest when there's a net force, move in the same direction as the net force, or move in the opposite direction as the net force. Red, stay at rest. Blue, move in the same direction. Yellow, move in the opposite direction. What happens when an object at rest begins to experience a net force? This was from your lab yesterday. 10 seconds. This should be super fresh in our minds, assuming we did the lab. Yes, it will begin moving in the same direction as the net force. Same direction. No worries, Taylor. Here's your ticket for today. We're almost done with our game, so I don't think that you'll be able to get your points for the game today, but you can do the alternative assignment once class is over. Okay, I'm sorry about that, just because you're a little bit too late. Cool. Awesome, Cash. All right. So object at rest will actually begin to move in the same direction as the net force. Remember, net force means the overall force. And when you experience an overall force to the left, that's going to force you to move to the left. If you experience an overall force to the right, that's going to force you to move to the right. Smiley faces if you understand. You move in the direction of your net force. Awesome. Tariq, Razi, Martina, Arrow, and Jackie on the board. Michaela, highest climber. Well done. Does this make sense? Here we go. So, net forces. When you have forces that are unbalanced, you end up with a net force. The object's going to move in the direction of the net force. If they're balanced, remember there's actually no net force. Net force equals 0, and the object will stay at rest. All right, so that talks about staying at rest, which was one of your options. So red, yes. Blue, it's starting to. Yellow, not yet. Here we go. 8 seconds. Awesome. Looking good. All right. Tariq, Razi, Martina, Arrow, Jackie on the board. What is the net force on Pikachu? Yay. Awesome, Taylor. What is the net force on Pikachu? Take a look at Pikachu here. Although, I'm sorry, Taylor. So there's only like 1 or 2 questions left, so you still won't be able to participate in the entire game, so I can't give you full credit. So I might be able to give you partial credit based on how many you answer, but you probably want to do the alternative assignment so you can get full credit. Okay. Net force on Pikachu. So we got 5 newtons going up, 15 newtons going down. What? Yeah, I know. Sorry, Taylor. I just don't want to go back on my word that I've told everyone else. Yes, it's actually going to be 10 newtons downwards. Let's make sure this makes sense. So 5 newtons going upwards. Do I mark that with a positive or a negative? 5 newtons going up. Is that a positive force or a negative force? Going up, 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 up. Yes, the up direction is always the positive direction. So 5 newtons going up is positive 5 newtons. So we've got positive 5 newtons. Sorry, positive 5 newtons. And what about 15 newtons going down? What should I mark that with? Is it positive or negative? Yes, so going down is the negative direction. So let's put that together. Positive 5 and negative 15, what does that equal? Oops, positive 5, negative 15, what does that equal? Positive 5 minus 15. Yes, no, it doesn't equal 10. Sorry, I lied. It does not equal 10. What does it equal? It equals negative 10, right? So positive 5, negative 15 equals negative 10. And that negative tells me the overall force is going in which direction, up or down. If it's negative 10, the overall force is going which way? Down. So that's why 10 newtons downwards is the correct answer here. All right, Tariq, Razi, Martina, Arrow, Michelle on the board. Let's make sure that this makes sense. I have the actual answer up here. All right, so again, 5 newtons up is positive, 15 newtons down is negative. Put those together, positive 5, negative 15 equals negative 10, which means it's going down. The overall force, the downwards direction wins. Pikachu overall is going to accelerate downwards. Red, it's starting to. Blue, yes. Yellow, not yet. 10 seconds left. Let me make sure that's making sense, everyone. 1. Looking good. All right, give a round of applause to our top players here. Tariq, Razi, Martina, you guys did excellent. We also had Arrow and Michelle up on the leaderboard as well. So you guys did a great job. I'm going to go ahead and save our results here. All right, this is a reminder. If you did not participate completely in the review, or if you were absent, you have to complete the alternative assignment. All right, let's see here. Yeah, my parents got married when my mom was 18. My grandma got married when she was 17. I got married when I was 19. I'm hoping my daughter doesn't get married at 20, but we'll see if the pattern holds. So again, so here's where you find it. It's under content. Go to Unit 3, scroll down, and you'll find the Unit 3 game day alternative assignment. So again, if your name was not on this board that I just saw here, or if you're Danny because you didn't respond to me, all right, you won't get your credit and you will have to do the alternative assignment, okay? So you can still get full points, but you're going to have to do the alternative assignment, okay? Cool. All right, smiley faces, if that makes sense to everyone. It does not open until 2 o'clock because I do have to enter everybody's grades first, and then it'll open at 2 o'clock. All right, everyone, here we go. Hope you have a great day. Here's your last word. See you all later. Let me know if you need anything, but otherwise go ahead and log out because we are all done here. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great day. Remember, gravity, you are always attractive. See you all later. Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Bye, everyone.